everyone, welcome to Tax Accounting. I wanted to give you a video to give you kind of a layout of where your materials are, how to get into your online homework, all of that kind of good stuff, and even to start off, how to access the course. For those of you who have not had an online course with Raritan Valley, the idea is if it's a pure online course, there's no one-to-one classes that you need to attend. It's a matter of me providing you the materials, grading those materials, you doing the work, and submitting to me and back and forth. But there's no live class meeting times. That doesn't mean we can't talk if you want to. If you want to meet, we can absolutely set that up, but there's no specific class times. All right, so if you go to the main Raritan Valley webpage, raritanvalley.edu, and I'm going to say you scroll all the way to the bottom and you click on Canvas down here. You'll have to log in with your G number and password. For me, it already remembers that I was in here, so no problem there. It should show up in your published courses, and those are your live and active courses, which I have not published ours yet. That's why it's down here. Okay, so if you were to click on it, I'm going to make this be in a student view, so this way I see the same things you would see. All right, here we go. You can see that it's a lot more limited on what you can see because I only want to give you access to the things you need access to. So really, I even need to pare it down a little bit from here. But anyway, okay, so if I send you announcements in the course, and from time to time I will, they'll be in here. I tell you welcome to Tax Accounting, and I tell you about your introduction. That's with the two that are live right now. But throughout the course, I'll be giving you, notes on things and saying, hey, everybody, you're doing the current tax project, and I wanted to let you know X, Y, Z. I do that in here because it's kind of my hey class, I want you to know something. All right. If I have to talk to you directly, I'll send you an email through Canvas. All right. But these are kind of the course announcements, if you will. You're going to live primarily in modules. That's going to be where you can access all of your materials. So you've got the welcome module right here. And I talked to you, the video that I'm making right now, I'm going to be putting in here. And I talked to you a little bit about the book. I include the syllabus and I put the due dates in here. The due dates that I have listed in here are in Excel because I like to see them in Excel because that's how I operate. So you can download them in Excel and you can see how I have things set up. I have them broken into 5 modules, and these are the assignments that are due for each module. All right, so they're open usually for about 3 weeks, each one of these. Some a little longer, some a little bit less, depending on how much material is involved, but for the most part about 3 weeks. So you have that entire time frame to get the work done. It doesn't mean wait though. That's the last thing I want to convey. All right, so that's an Excel version. Let me get out of here, close. Okay, copy your syllabus. You can click on it here. It's in Word, and there's a bunch of information there. I strongly suggest that you review that. And then I talk about your homework and your introduction. Okay, so this course is really broken down. Here, let me click on something else and I'll show you real quick. If I click on this syllabus tab here, I have another copy of your syllabus there, but I also have in here kind of all of your work broken down by due dates. Okay, so you can look in here and say, oh, look at this, I have all this stuff due on September 18th. That's okay, you've got 3 weeks to do it. 2.5. No, 3 weeks. You've got 3 weeks to do it. Okay. So if you look here, you can see kind of, and this is listed in the syllabus as well, but you can see here how the course grading is broken out. What you really have in each chapter is you've got homework, right? Online homework that you're going to do. You have usually 2 discussion posts in each chapter, one about the homework or the chapter material, and the other one something I wanted you to do a little research on. Okay, nothing really heavy, no need to cite with APA format or any of that kind of good stuff. But if you are referencing a link, an article that's online, put the link in so that anybody can see it. But so you've got homework in each chapter, you've got discussions in each chapter, you have something called EdPuzzle in each chapter, and they're kind of fun little videos that I have for you to do. And you can see they're not weighted very heavily, but they're meant to be fun and a little bit educational. All right, they are definitely all tax related. And later on, you'll see that there are tax return projects, 2 different types. There's a mini tax return project and there's a larger tax return project. And that's really just to give you some hands-on experience because I couldn't have you walking out of a tax class never actually having prepared tax returns. So I created mini tax projects for you that kind of build on each other and a tax project. But you're not going to worry about that right now. Those are for a little bit later. All right. After each module, you have a test. All right, and they're worth 50% of your grade. So since there are 5 modules, I think there are 5 modules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 modules, 5 tests. All right, And I do that because I don't want any chapter to have, or I don't want to have any big massive tests. I want them to be weighted relatively lightly. I still have to give you tests, but I didn't want a test being worth like 25% of your grade, right? So each test is worth about 10% of your grade. I hope that makes it a little bit lower stakes for you. Realize that the Connect homework is huge, 20%. That's worth more than 2 tests. And you can do the homework as many times as you want to get to 100 on it. So that's to your benefit. Okay, so let me go back to modules here for a second. All right, so the welcome module, the introduction is due. That's your first thing that you have to do is your introduction. And you'll see I posted my own introduction. You can do video, or you can type your introduction, but make sure you're responding to your classmates as well, as you'll see listed in the details of the introduction. Okay, so here's what a module looks like. We've got kind of an intro to each module, where I give you a cute little quote on taxes, and I talk about what's in this module. I write that up. The PowerPoints are here, and that's just if you wanted them. They're publisher PowerPoints to kind of keep you on track through the chapter, if that's a way you wanted to use to print those out and take notes on, or do them on screen, however you like. I have the 3 homework assignments because this module is 3 chapters. I have your EdPuzzle videos, which I know I haven't gotten to yet. I've got your discussion question, and I've got your homework discussion. I mentioned there are 2 discussions for each chapter. And there's your exam. So really everything can be found right here on this web page. What I did, though, to make it a little bit easier to access for you is I pulled each one of those out and put them here too. There's your chapter 1 homework, chapter 2 homework, chapter 3 homework. Same thing. It's just repeating what was in this module here. Your EdPuzzle, your discussion forums, and your exam. You'll see there's a little self-study thing in here. Totally up to you. Just practice. Grade doesn't come back to me. It's just a matter of you getting comfortable with what the exam types of questions are going to look like. Okay, so you have all the gradable items are out here. All right, but you can also find them all in here. So whichever way you choose to access this. Okay, let's talk about the homework. The way you're going to get to your homework and get into the ebook and get into everything else, just click on chapter 1 homework. I'm in student mode, so it's locked. It's going to ask you to register for the homework, and you have a couple of choices. You can register for the homework online and pay through the publisher. You'll have that as an option. You can also register online and have like a 2-week free trial period. Do that right away, so that this way you have that no matter what. Or if you went to the bookstore and bought, the code, you can input the code at that time too. I can't really show it to you because I can't see it as a student to show you how to register for it. But I don't think it's terribly difficult. But if you have any problems at all, you and I can walk through registering together, one-on-one, no problem at all. All right, so let me go back to modules. So like I said, you could also click on McGraw-Hill. Got an error because, like I said, I'm a student. It's not live yet. It won't be live until Wednesday when classes start. All right, so let's look at EdPuzzle modules. EdPuzzle is totally free. They're just fun little videos. They have questions built into them. They do. And you can do them, more than once. So if you don't do as well as you would have liked, the only thing that's kind of a hassle is you have to email me. I have to reset it for you. It's just how EdPuzzle works. I don't really have a say in that. One thing I could suggest is create 2 accounts for yourself in EdPuzzle. You can go directly to EdPuzzle here, or you can access them through here. All right, through these links. But if you access it through here, you can create a second account as long as the names are similar. So like I would have Anderson and Marie, when I first set it up. But if I wanted to create a second account so that in case I got something wrong, I could try it again easily without having to email me to reset it and wait for that, maybe I create a second account, Anderson AM, and use a different email address. That's just a way to make it easier for you. So these, they're little videos and they have quizzes built into them. They're fun quizzes, or they're just, you'll see. This is Schoolhouse Rock. It's from my childhood, the 70s there. So they're fun little videos about Schoolhouse Rock, Taxman. Some are just, just watch the video for fun. I think there's a Pink Panther one, and there's an Ellen one, and there's a bunch of them. Some actually have material, some are more just fun. I kind of give you the instructions here for them. All right, back to modules. All right, so those are the videos. Discussion forums. Each chapter or each module, I want you to ask questions, answer questions, help each other on the homework. I intentionally made the homework problems so that they're static, they're not algorithmic. What that means is you all have the same numbers, so that I thought this is a hard enough class. You don't have to, I don't want to change the numbers for everybody. So if you're helping another student who's like, hey, I'm stuck on chapter 1, problem 2. I got this far. Can somebody help me? Somebody else can reach out and be like, oh, you have to do this, multiply by this percentage, or whatever it is. Don't give away straight up answers. Try to help the person with guidance. All right, the other discussion question. Ooh, nope, that's not how I wanted to do it. Go back to modules. The other discussion question here is I will have you doing a little tax discussion on celebrities evading taxes. There's a whole lot of them out there. And I want you to post. I tell you what your minimum post is and your response to your fellow classmates. All right, back to modules again. Modules is really going to be where you go for everything. And then when it's time to take your exam, you can only take the exam once. Homework you do as many times as you want to get to 100. Exams you can do once. All right, and they're timed. They're 2 hours and they're 40 to 50 questions depending on the material. All right, let me real quick. I'm just going to go. Oh, I'm going to go leave student view just so I can show you what it looks like. What it looks like to get into McGraw-Hill. So if you were to click on Chapter 1 homework, again, you just have to register for it. You have free access, right? You have free access. You have, for 2 weeks, you have access that you can then buy through the publisher, or you can buy it through the bookstore. Publisher's going to be cheaper, though. I'll tell you that. Okay, so or you can click on McGraw-Hill here and go to My Connect section. You can see all of the chapters and all the material in here and all the good due dates and whatnot. Okay, so they're all in here. Go to do your Chapter 1 homework. Ooh. I preview it since, it knows I'm in the teacher view, right? And this is what your homework's going to look like, something along these lines. There are, help me with this, and they will, sorry, the answers are there. But the idea is that, there's help built into these questions. One other quick thing I want to show you, if you're in Connect, you have this library. You have resources in here. You have the ebook. You can see the ebook a couple of different ways. But this media one is kind of neat. You can, you have to get to the right chapter. Right now it's in student orientation mode. But there are options within the media, there are videos to help you through the material. Okay, so make sure you just explore these to the best, utilize the cost of the book, right? Utilize all of the materials that are available to you. There's a smart book. There's any number of things, of ways to engage with the material. All right. Oh, one last thing before I let you go. Grades. So as you're in here, show me test student. As you're in here, I have to go back into student view to show you what I want to show you. Student view. All right, grades. As you're in here, if you wanted to know, like, what if I got, an 80 on the intro post and I got, 100 for this homework and I got whatever, it just is kind of, you can what if your grades, right? And at the very bottom here, it'll tell you what your current grade is based on the what ifs at that point. Okay, so that's really helpful to a lot of students. I think that's it. So get in there, do your introduction, and get yourself signed up for McGraw-Hill. Try it with the first 2 weeks, the free access, and then after that, you make your decision on what you want to do. Here, let me just show you one. I swear, last thing. All right. So if you were to go into here, I give you kind of the rundown. You can go to the RVCC bookstore. You can go to the publisher site. I tell you about the 14 days free trial, or you can get the book from another source. I think when you go into, if I'm correct, you might have the option, and again, I can't see this, only you can see this. You might have the option of just purchasing the resources without the ebook. So if you wanted to do that, you could, but then you wouldn't have a book to reference. But if you were able to get a copy of the book cheaper somehow, I just don't think you'd be able to, because this book is new every single year. So unfortunately, because tax code changes every year, right? So you always need to have the most recent version of this thing. And this one just came out over the summer. So I don't think you're going to get it any cheaper than the ebook that you see online. I wish I had a better answer for you because I know it's expensive, but that's the case with textbooks simply because the amount of time to update them every single year for the new rules is expensive for the publisher. All right. Questions about anything, let me know. Reach out to me. Email me through Canvas or email me through raritanval.edu. Any are fine. All right. I look forward to seeing you in class.